Good morning, fools. Welcome to the All Jammed Up podcast presented to you by Music Never Stopped. I'm your host, Clint,
I'm your co-host, Chloe.
and All Jammed Up tickets are for sale right now.
Well, we're all jammed up and we're ready to blast. It's time for Clint and Chloe's Music Podcast.
Hell yeah, get them everywhere. It's on our Facebook, it's on our Instagram. You can find them.
Link in bio on the Instagram. By the time this is out, the story will be gone. But there are still a handful of early bird tickets. I think as we're recording this, there's like 19 left. A little cheaper than the normal rates. Wanted to try to hook up the people that listen to the podcast and kind of been paying attention to it for a while. So there's some cheaper options out there. But yeah, make sure that you go get your tickets. There's going to be vendors. There's going to be food. There's obviously going to be great music. It's going to be a great time with some good beer at One World Brewing. So tickets are on sale. Go buy them now.
There is a event also on Facebook. There's like an event page for the event.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks.
But
So you can also find them there and respond and yeah.
this
find
is still a podcast, and we have a legend on the podcast today.
Yes.
Vince Herman from Leftover Salmon. There is no video on this podcast. Vince just wanted to do a phone call, and what he wants is what he gets.
Yes, absolutely. I don't want to not spoil, but drop. I don't know the words I want to use because what I wanted to say was drop your juice, and that's not a thing. But when we started this year, part of the resolutions, Clint made a white whale list, which he did last year too, and Vince Herman was one of them. So the fact that January has come to a close and we got him in the first month, that's pretty incredible.
It's a good start for sure. Yeah, I made a list of
Absolutely.
5 names that I really wanted to interview, and he was one of them. And my goal is to get interview 3 of the people on that list, and we got 1. So
Great start.
exciting. It was different for me as an interviewer.
Yeah.
You can't see his body language, so you don't really know when to interject, when to just kind of let him roll with something. So it was, I think maybe the first few minutes, it might sound a little dry. It gets going. I will say, like, I'm the most critical person of myself, but sometimes there was times I could have jumped in or didn't jump in, but it's hard just doing the microphone or just telephone. But some cool stories that came out of it. I love Leftover Salmon, so that was a really cool one for me.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
think
I've
you
been
guys
excited about this one in general.
Yeah, and I think you guys will like this one. And we also have another legend coming on Thursday who I'll tell you guys, but not till the end.
Okay.
So stay tuned for this Vince Herman interview. Chloe and I got some topics we're going to talk about on the back end, and then I'll let you guys know who's on the episode Thursday. Here's Vince Herman.
Honey, you're listening to some all jammed up.
Alrighty, guys. We are here today on the podcast with Vince Herman from Leftover Salmon. Vince, how's it going?
It's great, man. It's a fine day down here in the coast of South Carolina.
So you guys are prepping for the storm, the snowstorm too, then, right? Or no? Or is it missing you?
Yeah, I escaped the ice in Nashville and came down here, and I guess it's following me around. I don't know.
What brought you? Where in South Carolina are you?
I'm down on Pawleys Island.
Okay,
My sweetheart has a place down here, and I've been enjoying it,
nice. Yeah, I
even
know
though
that.
it's
I'm here in
hovering around freezing.
I'm here in Asheville, and we were supposed to get that ice storm you guys got, and
Yeah,
it looks like we're gonna catch this snowstorm this weekend.
yeah, it's yeah, crazy week,
It is. It is.
no doubt.
First of all, though, I just want to say thanks for coming on the podcast. I'm a huge Leftover Salmon fan. Probably one of the first like jam grass bands that I got into. So I just want to say thanks for taking the time to sit down with us.
You know it. Absolutely. Thank you.
Cool. So I want to kind of just start. I want to get into Leftover Salmon and all the different projects that you had, but I kind of wanted to go all the way back to the beginning. And I did my research and see that you kind of grew up around like polka and Motown and rock. Is that kind of sound right?
Absolutely. Yeah, Pittsburgh was a pretty heavy polka town, I guess, when I was growing up there in the 60s. Um, yeah, that's all the live music I saw as a kid.
And
The
what
polka
really,
bands at weddings. Yeah.
what kind of instruments does like a typical polka band have? I feel like that's like a type of music you always hear about, but you don't really ever, see it
Yeah.
anymore.
Oh, it's the next craze, man.
Yeah, it's
Telling
coming
you.
back. It's coming back, you think?
It is big time. No, typical polka band has an accordion and bass drums, guitar, and sometimes a singer who just sings.
Okay. And that like live music kind of interested you, and then being around David Bromberg and his big band, is that kind of when you really like dove into it and knew that you wanted to be a musician?
Yeah, well, I have a photo of myself at 3 years old, um, playing a plywood guitar my brother made for me. So I was the youngest of seven kids, and a lot of music in the house, and man, I just really dug music. I remember thinking that there were people inside the speakers playing little instruments and shit. So so I guess I've always been fascinated by it, and started taking lessons in like third grade, started teaching in eighth. Um, um, played music in church. Um, and then I went to the Smoky City Folks Festival in Pittsburgh and saw this group of people, about 40 people underneath a tree, playing old timey music, and it occurred to me that they might not know each other. And man, I thought that then the social aspect of music hit me, and like, man, if I learn these tunes, I can go travel around and find people who play old time music and have tunes to play with people I don't even know. Traveling, man, like that was just gold to me. So
How old
I've
were
been
you when that
chasing that
happened?
since, I guess, probably in eighth grade, maybe ninth grade or something like that.
Okay. And so after that, did you go out and try to form like your own band, or like what kind of happened to get you in that musical direction after seeing that?
Yeah, I found some people to play with. I did my I guess I'd played my first gig. I was about 15. Um uh Maybe six, nah, probably 15. Um I had met a guy on the street playing street music in Pittsburgh, and he offered me a gig playing in this country band, Eddie and the Night Riders. And I played, I don't know, maybe 10 gigs with that band. I don't know, I was about 15 years old in little honky tonks in Pittsburgh. That was real fun, but eventually they fired me because I was playing too much bluegrass kind of stuff for the country taste.
Okay, and anybody that's seen you play live, your stage presence is somewhat infectious. It seems like that's kind of like your natural place to be. Did you ever have like fear in those early days of playing on stage, or were you always kind of felt like it was natural for you?
Well, I guess growing up playing in church, I kind of, had an audience once a week to stand up in front of and get over feeling nervous about it, I guess. Um, and and playing with bands in high school and playing the talent show and stuff. Uh, I guess I just got used to it, and I'm incredibly uh, comfortable with the mission, I guess,
Hmm.
which is to kind of communicate uh, with the crowd, and I feel good about that. Um, Doing that, but as a result, I can't wear in-ear monitors at all. It just sends me internal when I'm supposed to be going external, and it just doesn't work.
Does that ever bring up issues on stage?
Yeah, the rest of the band is using them
Okay, and just
for
you
the
don't.
most part, but I don't. Yeah, I just can't do it.
Oh, that's interesting. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. So going from, playing with Eddie and the Night Riders and kind of growing up before we get into leftover salmon and all that, you go to West Virginia University. Why'd you choose there for college coming from Pennsylvania?
Well, my parents dropped me off the fall before I started my freshman year of college to go check it out, and they dropped me off and picked me up a couple hours later. And it just so happened that the West Virginia Pitt football game had just ended, and I had beer poured on me from rooftops a couple times, and it was absolutely the rowdiest thing I'd ever seen, and it occurred to me that college was probably a pretty good idea uh, on that day, and also the drinking age was 18 in the state of West Virginia at the time, and 21 in Pennsylvania,
That definitely
so
makes it easy.
it seemed like a no-brainer. And I grew up, we'd go to West Virginia occasionally. It just seemed like such a great place, and I've always got really good warm vibes from West Virginia, and I
Yeah.
was I'm really happy with where I choose to seek higher education.
And were you playing a lot of music there? Were you seeing new kinds of music, or were you just kind of honing in? Like, what was the musical experience like in West Virginia?
Yeah, man, I was studying vocal techniques both in acting and in singing. Um, I was studying improv theater. Um, that really kind of helped my stage stuff later on. Um, um, but yeah, I studied African music. I really dug that, and um, and my friends in town were playing a lot of bluegrass, and we did a lot of that. But there was also I was in a Grateful Dead band um, called Smokestack Lightning and Nexus, um, Captain Jelly and the Nuff, because too much is just enough. Uh, um, yeah, and lots of reggae and ska and that kind of stuff going on. My buddy Vince Farcetta was a real influence. He had a ska band and he played old timey banjo. So those borders between genres were blurring from an early time in my life.
Yeah, and all those, doing improv, learning about African music, that all kind of helped you later in life. At the time when you were like learning about that kind of stuff, did you even think about how you were going to be using that getting older throughout life?
Well, I kind of thought maybe I was going to become a musicologist, um, or something in the social sciences, and musicology was definitely absorbed a lot of my time. I spent a lot of time in the library listening to the archives of a bunch of tin plate recordings and wire recordings and all this kind of gathered folklore kind of stuff, and yeah, could see myself pursuing that kind of thing.
Yeah, so I
Um,
imagine that's simply the study of music. What exactly does that kind of job like entail? What are you doing? What would you be
well,
doing, I guess?
it's kind of looking at music and its role in culture,
Mm.
more broadly rather than just the mechanics or the writing of the music. It's the social context and history and folklore and that kind of stuff, and documenting things.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting. Could you maybe like just drop some knowledge or something really that the average person might know about musicology that you think is really interesting?
We're going to Hawaii um, in April to play, and Hawaii is from a musicologist point of view is a really unique uh, musical lab because Hawaiian music didn't have a melodic tradition until these cowboys from Portugal came to tend the cattle and brought these little guitarone kind of thing, uh, and which kind of became the ukulele and that. Um, but but these guys, these cowboys, introduced melodic singing in Hawaiian music, and prior to that, it had only had been chanting.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and they're elaborate. There's still a lot of chant done in Hawaiian circles, but so the melodic tradition was introduced in a historic time period. So there are records of the whole time and some recordings and stuff. So it's really interesting to see, how it is that the chanting thing kind of joined with Western music, what that became, um, and by the 1930s, Hawaiian music was one of the most popular forms being sold.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was like opera and maybe a little bit of some regional stuff and Hawaiian music, man. That was the stuff, and then the big band stuff hit. But it's amazing that the Hawaiian music was able to absorb, like, Portuguese cowboy songs, and then absorbing jazz and lounge kind of stuff, and eventually Don Ho and so tracing that evolution of music in Hawaii is one of a really unique case study.
Yeah, so were the Portuguese like some of the first people to use the ukulele and they brought it to Hawaii? Or was the ukulele pretty common in like Europe
It was
before?
these little parlor guitar kind of things.
Okay.
I think they call them guitarones, but I might be wrong with that. Yeah, but yeah, these cats came over to take care of the cattle that we brought in.
That's so interesting. My whole family's Portuguese. Like my mother's full Portuguese. She moved here when she
Oh,
was like 10, so I'll have to drop some knowledge on them next time I'm in
yeah,
town
man,
for the holidays or something.
absolutely.
Awesome. So
Oh yeah.
I'm assuming you're going over to Hawaii with Leftover Salmon. I want to get into how that band formed. I know it's been through so many ebbs and flows with different members, but it seems like you and Drew Emmett kind of have been like the always the core of it, right?
Yeah, in New Year's Eve of 1990, I had a band called the Salmon Heads that had a gig in Crested Butte, Colorado. That a couple of the guys couldn't make the show, so I called up Drew and the bass player from the Left Hand String Band, which Drew was in also. I had played in Left Hand before I started my band, the Salmon Heads, and so we were played together a bunch when these guys couldn't make the gig. Called Drew. We drove down the Crest of Butte together, trying to figure out what to call a combination of the Salmon Heads and the Left Hand String Band, and came up with Leftover Salmon for what we thought was going to be one gig. And
Mm.
the next day we had like five other gigs because of the nature of Colorado ski circuit music at the time. All the club owners knew each other, and they all called us up the next day and said, "Come play."
Yeah. And how did you
So,
and Drew meet?
I got to Boulder in 1985 in the fall, and parked in front of a place called the Walrus that had a sign out front that said "Bluegrass Music Tonight," and walked in, and that was the Left Hand String Band playing there. Eventually, I became a bouncer at that bar and hung with the Left Hand guys a bunch when that was happening, and eventually joined the band. And um, yeah, things just kind of progressed from there.
Do you think that like meeting Drew and being in that bar was kind of like I don't between like college and that moment, I don't really know what was going on for you musically. Do you think that was like a big turning point for you as far as doing this professionally?
Yeah, I left West Virginia for Colorado because um, the band Hot Rise was based in Boulder at the time, and the Telluride Bluegrass Festival was going on, and so it kind of had this progressive bluegrass kind of vibe, and um, you know, West Virginia has a lot of old time and bluegrass and that kind of stuff, but it can be uh, but it's not as progressive as what I figured out was going on in Colorado.
Hmm.
So that's what kind of lured me to it. And you know, first night in town, I saw the Left Hand String Band. Was seeing Hot Rise all over town. You know, it was great, and it was all I was hoping it would be.
Okay, yeah. What was, me, I'm younger than you. Colorado, as long as I've been in the jam band scene, it's always been kind of like a mecca for jam band and improvisation music. What was it like? What was the idea of the Colorado music scene in the 80s?
Well, bluegrass wasn't as available in bars. Um, it's kind of unusual that the Left Hand String Band had this once a week gig um, at a club doing bluegrass. But the main clubs in town, it was blues and rock, and um, the Monday night open night. I never dreamed of getting up and playing because it was all you know big rock and roll, and electric guitars and not a lot of acoustic stuff going on. Um, so we just found a way to end up adding drums to a bluegrass band. Kind of got us into playing rock and roll bars that otherwise wouldn't have bluegrass stuff, and the energy in the ski areas at that time was really really just chomping at the bit. Kind
Hmm.
of people were fired up, and we found that the more aggressive kind of old timey tunes that played a little bit faster and a little more aggressively just caused people to start slam dancing,
Yeah.
um, and that kind of caught fire. uh, so we started calling our stuff slamgrass music.
Okay. And like, whenever I hear the Slamgrass, and I think now you guys say polyethnic Slamgrass, sometimes I hear the word Cajun thrown around with leftover salmon.
Yeah,
Being born in Pennsylvania, going to school in West Virginia, then moving to Colorado, where did this Cajun influence come from for you?
the Augusta Heritage Festival in Elkins, West Virginia, has been going on for probably 50 years now, and it's a 6 week festival.
Six week.
One week is Irish week. There's Bluegrass week, an old time week, a dance week, a Cajun week, and a blues week. And so I hitchhike down there on the weekends and playing the Cajun stuff. Listening to the Cajun stuff, and that man, it just really connected with me. I don't know, maybe because there's accordions on it. It's like polka music, but it just man, I just love that sound and just really enjoyed chasing it and got to play with Dewey Belfa, who's kind of the Bill Monroe of Cajun music. He's the first guy to take it out of Southwest Louisiana. Played the Newport Folk Festival and with this you know, regional music that nobody really heard much
Yeah.
of, you know. So yeah, getting to play with Dewey Balfa and Kenry Fontenot and Larry Miller and these guys, it was for a 20-year-old kid from Pittsburgh, it was pretty mind-boggling to get to have those experiences, and I just really developed a love of that music.
Yeah, who's playing Cajun music these days other than you guys? Is there any other bands out there now that you're like wanting to
Oh man,
catch?
there's a ton of great bands playing Cajun music out there, man. The Pine Leaf Boys, the Revelers, Beausoleil, of course, is still doing their thing. That's like the best Cajun band in the world.
What was that
Um,
one?
Beausoleil, Beausolliel, Michael
Okay.
Doucet. That's the best Cajun band ever. Uh, but yeah, there's a ton of great bands, especially in Louisiana. But
Yeah.
we're really psyched to be playing Jazz Fest for the first time on the Fatal Doe stage this year. I've seen a lot of great Cajun acts on that stage, and we're really honored to be asked to play that.
Yeah, that's got to be awesome. I mean, I'm sure you guys have played so many festivals, so many venues. Is there one that really sticks out for you? Is like maybe it was just a show, maybe it was a festival you didn't want to play, some that just really sticks out as maybe the best experience you've had in Leftover Salmon?
Oh man, Telluride's really a big home to us, and the band kind of started there, and in some sense, in 1989, prior to those New Year's shows in 1990.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean that was the festival that had really the strongest community, the most of our friends, and shenanigans that we developed over a bunch of years that were pretty dang fun.
Nice.
Um, you know, uh, when you have repeat offenders, you can develop some repertoire. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
So
Um,
Telluride's great, man. We've had some festivals we've thrown ourselves that were really fun out in Lesterville, Missouri, and Lyons, Colorado. And this Hawaiian thing has been really fun. Um, it's great to play in that environment. Um, yeah, man, we've had some great times playing festivals. People are at their best when a festival's happening.
I can agree with that for sure. Going back to Leftover Salmon, though, you guys took this hiatus in 2005, and then you formed another band, the Great American Taxi. That 8-year hiatus, did you ever think that Leftover Salmon was going to get back together, or were you kind of just focused on the Great American Taxi and you understood that as your new band?
Um, I think it was only about 3 years before we got asked to Drew and I asked to do a Vince and Drew and Friends, which was leftover salmon. So, um, but yeah, the taxi thing was another thing. It was started for one gig, and we had so much fun that we just kept doing it. Um, yeah, it was a benefit for a rainforest action group in Boulder, and just put together some of the favorite folks in town that I like to play with, um, and we did it a few more times, and then figured we should make a record, and we made a few records, and um, had a great time going out on the road and recording with Todd Snyder. Uh, miss that guy immensely.
Mhm.
That was certainly the highlight of the Great American Taxi run, is playing with Snyder.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, man, that kind of when Salmon started going again full speed, it was just too much to try to juggle both bands. So Taxi went on without me, and eventually started a band called the High Hawks with some of those cats, Chad Staley, Brian Adams. Uh, we're both in Taxi
Yeah.
and the High Hawks. Um,
Now, I'm going to put you on the spot here. You've been in Leftover Salmon for quite a long time, so many different iterations of it. For you, what was the most fun lineup that the band had or has now?
I'm having the most fun ever with the band right now. It's
Yeah,
really comfortable. It's got power. It's got comfort. It's a great group of guys to be hanging with. It's a whole lot easier than it was back in the day. Um, and a lot less shows. We were playing 250 shows a year at some point, and this year we'll be down to 60.
nice. Yeah, I'm,
So,
I'm gonna try my best to come see you guys in Greenville next month.
oh, excellent.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think I think you guys have Stickley opening for you too, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I got to come out to that one. We saw you guys at Sierra Nevada this last year.
Oh, excellent. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a good scene up there.
it was. Yeah, and you guys had the guys from Sacred Hollow open for you, and they're actually going to headline the All Jammed Up Festival here in Nashville this summer.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm so glad the salvage station looks like it's going to be coming back together.
Yeah, in some capacity, it seems like that. I actually just moved here. I moved here right around Helene, so I never actually got to go to the salvage
Oh
station.
yeah, it
So
was
I'm
great,
excited
man.
too.
It's very, very good that they're getting that together, man.
Yeah. I
Really good
was
people.
I was looking at your website, and we've done a lot of talk about, the bands that you've been in, and seems to be on a little more of a personal note. It was on your blog on your website about your Irish connection, and I thought that was a really cool story. I don't want to really jump the gun and spoil it, so I'm going to let you tell that story 'cause I think it's really, really interesting.
Oh, okay, yeah. My son and I went to Dromahair
Yeah,
and
and
hung out and found the old family homestead, and got to hang and see what it was like. Went to the school and the church and all that thing where my great grandfather was hanging out, and hung out at the lake in between his house and the school he taught at. So he'd be walking by this lake every day, and Silas and I got to go hang out and play tunes and climb a mountain near there. Um, oh, it was just a great time, and every just about every night we'd go to a pub, and there'd be music, and if not instruments and that, then just singing.
yeah.
It was just a real treat, man.
Yeah, and it seems like I think what the really cool part is you were researching into um the town and you found out that one of the lullabies that you had sang for your kids were
Ah, yes.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Shebay and Shimor are two mountains near Dromahair. And in the 1500s, an Irish harpist named O'Carolan wrote a tune called Shebay and Shimor about these two mountains that were kind of fairy kingdoms. And um, that melody just, the first time I heard it, I just love that melody, and learned it, probably when I was in high school. And I played it for my kids, as a lullaby, and I just love the song. It's just so beautiful. And found out that it was, written right kind of in the family homestead area there. And it just blew me away that somehow the geographic genetics of that song somehow spoke to me in a way that other Irish melodies hadn't. And I thought it was a trip, man, that it kind of came from nearby where my ancestors came from.
Yeah, that is awesome. And as someone who loves music history, I mean, that's got to be pretty amazing for you too.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah,
Awesome.
we went up on top of a mountain there and played, and my guitar was just chiming in ways that it hasn't done since. It was just resonating,
Hmm.
and Silas's mandolin was too. It was a powerful place to be.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. That's a really cool story. Um, I don't want to keep you all day. I know you're taking some time, so I appreciate you sitting down to chat with me. Before I let you go, though, I want to know just somebody like you who's been doing this for a long time. You've kind of laid the foundation for some of this jamgrass music. Who are some of these like newer acts that are really catching your ear, and you would really encourage people to go catch a show if they can?
Man, my son's band, Silas Herman, they're in the tone unit. Silas is ripping it up on mandolin. In fact, Silas and I are going to be playing in Asheville April 13th and 14th at Barley's for
Okay,
the Billy Strings after shows.
February
Um,
13th and 14th.
yes, February
Okay,
13th, 14th.
I'm putting
And
that right now.
yeah, Silas will be on mandolin and guitar, and we've got Jason Flournoy on banjo, and
Oh, awesome.
Tommy Marr on dobro, and a whole bunch of folks.
Hold on, say that. So it's you, your son, Jason Flournoy, and Tommy from Fireside all playing together?
Yeah, yeah,
That is an all-star group right there, man.
and more and more.
Okay.
So yeah.
At Barley's. I might have to post this episode after that so I don't give away the hotspot for the Billy Strings after parties.
Yeah, man.
Vince, well, that's awesome, man. I really appreciate you. I will definitely be there one of those days checking you guys out. But before we wrap up here, is there anything you want to plug, man?
Oh man, I want to plug paying attention to what's going on in our country, and really showing up and expressing yourself at this time is really, really important, man. I know we've been training for 250 years as a country for this date, but it's here.
Mm,
We have to save our form of government, and pay attention out there, folks. Speak
absolutely.
up.
Absolutely. Well, Vince, wise words to wrap it up, man. Thanks so much for coming on again, and can't wait to see you here in a couple weeks.
Uh, Back at you, man. See you at Barley's.
You just got jammed.
All right. Welcome back from that interview with Vince. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Important message there at the end, I think, from Vince about showing up and doing what's right now. So I think in these times of all times, it's an important message. And yeah, I like that interview.
Nice.
That was a good one for me.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear it. From what I heard of it, my side of the couch, it did sound like it was a really cool one.
I know we got to find a way to get you tapped in on some of these interviews.
I know, that's why I was like, I don't know what his message is at the end, so I was gonna just like, yep, I hope it was a good one. But,
well, yeah, you'll know soon enough.
Yeah, I'm excited to listen back to that one. That was an interview that I had also been super excited for since like the inception of this.
Yeah. Yosemite Sam is what Chloe likes to call him.
I do call him Yosemite Sam. Before I knew his name, there is a liking, a likeness.
Likeness. I think likeness would be the word. Yeah.
Especially when he gets that washboard on.
Yeah. Yeah. I should have asked about the washboard. Like, what's the technique to playing that?
Are there different tones to a washboard?
Are there like nice washboards?
Yeah.
But sometimes I think questions like that, I'm like,
washboard?
is that just a really stupid question? You'd be like, yeah, dude, it's like any other instrument. All right, sorry.
Or like, no, you can literally pull these out of a radiator and play it.
Maybe.
What is? Oh yeah, you think so too? Oh, where is the Yeah, washboards are an interesting one. I like all those little nifty little instruments. I almost got myself a mouth harp the other day. Those are fun, just kind of like that boingy noise.
Boing, boing, boing.
I figured that could be a fun one. And anything that I can play with little paddles.
Paddles, like what?
Well, little drumsticks, like a xylophone.
Okay. Mallets.
Mallets.
Not paddles.
Look at you. Look at you. Tuned in.
Tapped in, tuned in. Yeah, that's me,
Tapped in.
Clint.
Oh. I do have. So I wanted to start off Chloe's Corner with basically a topic that is just for Clint. I was kind of just scrolling around.
All the people who thought she should be in the Hall of Fame. Obviously, not just me.
Well, yes, there's a huge crowd of people, but Clint is a massive Alanis Morissette fan.
Jagged Little Pill is one of the best albums of all time.
That is like since I've known Clint, a constant in his repertoire of anything is Alanis Morissette is queen.
She is. Shouts out Kindle Street. They covered one of her songs pretty recently.
I do feel like I remember seeing that.
I can't think of the name of it right now, but
she is going to be inducted into the Songwriter Hall of Fame.
deserved.
Yeah.
Who else is in that?
Coming,
The
maybe?
Songwriter Hall of Fame?
Songwriter Hall of Fame. Yeah.
How many different like Hall of Fames do you think there are for music? Like there's the
The
Rock and Roll,
Hall of Fame. I don't know
Um,
any others.
yeah, me either. We should make the
How old is she?
she's got to be like 50 probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. This website is terrible.
Yeah, hold on. Let me not close out of my hula hoop purchase.
Okay, here we go. So Kenny Loggins, Alanis Morissette, Gene Simmons, Taylor Swift got in this year already, and Alanis Morissette's just now getting into it. A lot of these people I don't even know. Prince got in 2024. Donald
Wow,
Fagen.
that feels like a long time coming.
Mariah Carey 2022. Some of these are
Mariah Carey.
some of these kind of seem early.
John Prine in
John-
2019.
but-
Missy Elliott 2019.
They didn't do it for a couple years.
Pharrell. I wonder why they stopped. They just stopped rewarding people when COVID
Well,
hit.
I was gonna say that's COVID years, but
Tom Petty.
Marvin Gaye, Elvis Costello, Babyface, Jay-Z,
Babyface.
Jay-Z, Epstein Files, Jay-Z. Take him out.
Take him out. I wonder if they. Toby Keith 2015. When did he die?
Like last
Recently.
year.
Yeah.
20
Sorry.
Yeah. Toby Keith. Okay, that's kind of a strange.
They kind of just put everyone. It looks like.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. Bill Withers, 2005. They've been doing this for a while, though. So, yeah, Songwriters Hall of Fame. Shouts out the Queen, Alanis Morissette, for your induction, along with Kenny Loggins, Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, and I guess Taylor Swift can get a shout out.
Yeah, I mean, if Pharrell gets it early too. I mean, actually, Pharrell's a producer as well, isn't he?
Yeah, and I imagine he probably writes a lot of rap songs that, like, I don't know about.
Yeah. I think I told you this the other day, but I saw a video of what's his name? Jamie Foxx, of when Ed Sheeran had just started like trying to get his music out. Did I tell you this?
Oh, I think you did tell me
Apparently,
this.
Ed Sheeran like lived on Jamie Foxx's couch for the first like 6 months while they were producing his music and everything. And he took him to like this open mic, and Jamie Foxx was like, clearly it was in a place where he stuck out like a sore thumb, Sir Ed Sheeran, and got up on stage and like ripped a couple of his songs on a tiny ukulele and like crushed it. And so he ended
A
up
couple of Jamie Foxx's songs?
Ed Sheeran's.
Oh, I thought Ed Sheeran,
Ed Sheeran was playing. Does Jamie Foxx have music?
He does have a couple songs. Yeah, I can't think of them right now, but blame it on the
No way, that's
alcohol.
Jamie
Blame it.
Foxx?
I think so.
Jamie Foxx is the movie guy, right?
Jamie Foxx does it all.
Well, yeah, he has like a big studio in his house, so he was just having
Yeah,
Ed Sheeran
Jamie
live with him.
Foxx.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Blame it on the goose. Got me feeling loose. Blame it on the
That is so funny. I wonder
alcohol.
if every time I read these names of these pretty high up people now, my thought just goes to, I wonder if they're in the controversy.
Nah, Jamie Foxx is good.
He's clean cut.
I hope so. I like some of the Jamie Foxx.
I think I do too. I think if I'm thinking of the right person,
It is. You like Jamie Foxx,
I
I
do think I like. He's kind of actiony, I believe.
Yeah, he's actiony, funny.
There was another video that I saw, but I was pretty much told not to bring it up. I'm gonna bring it up anyway. I saw this video of Justin Bieber conducting an orchestra to record for one of his songs. I thought it was impressive. No one else
I don't think it's
thought that it
not
was
impressive, but I think the musicians are more impressive than Justin Bieber.
I think yes. So what I agree, but I think what was I think that's what I was impressed by.
Okay.
Justin Bieber was like,
Whoop diddy whoop. Let me get a
verbalizing-
fiddle. Whoop whoop.
yeah, he was verbalizing what he wanted because he doesn't know how to conduct an orchestra, and then the orchestra came right in and like rocked it.
Yeah, and he
So I
was
think
very
just
like,
the whole process of it was like cool to see.
and he said that before. He was like, I don't know the terms for this, so please bear with me. And like he seemed respectful. I'm sure they were stoked to be doing it, but I think the musicians were the impressive part.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Kid,
I think if Justin Bieber comes knocking on your door to make a song for him, because you were like, he looks kind of goofy. He was kind of like getting in and
He a goofy
doing some
boy.
weird stuff. But if Justin Bieber comes knocking, you're probably going to answer pretty quickly.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, those guys, if that was on a Justin Bieber like album or something, they probably got paid more than they usually get paid to
Big
be in
bang
the
bucks, yeah.
orchestra.
And then that girl that got the solo, I don't even know. Anyway, so I was impressed by that, and I I brought it up a little earlier, and it a bit got shut down, but I still want
Stick to your guns, yeah. Stick to your guns. That's what we're here for.
If I'm impressed, it doesn't
Throwing
take a
out
lot.
takes. They don't always stick to the wall, but you got to throw the takes.
Yeah, you got to throw them out to see what does stick.
Yeah.
We'll see how many of we'll see what the Billy Strings Justin Bieber crossover is through this topic.
That could be pretty cool. Or maybe Justin Bieber, Alanis Morissette crossover.
They would make a good song together.
Well, yeah, if Alanis Morissette's on, it's going to be a good song.
You don't think she's had any flop?
Why is he being so annoying?
Why are you being annoying? Come here. Come on. He wants to join? Come on. Get up. Other kind of new things that I saw happen this week. There were a couple new albums announced. First, I want to say Foo Fighters. So I was a really big Foo Fighters fan growing up. Truthfully, kind of fell off when he cheated on his wife. That's me personally. But I'm kind of excited for a Foo Fighters album to come out and about. That is a band that I've like always wanted to see in person and never have. I think that would be really cool. So I'm excited for that to come out. And then there is going to be a new Noah Kahan album as well, which I will say I liked his sound, but I felt he became pretty samey. So I'm excited to see what this album sounds like.
Yeah, I don't really listen to either of those guys. Foo Fighters, I know a couple songs when I was younger, but I don't think I could name anything by Noah Kahan.
I've heard it said a few ways. I had a friend that would say Kahan, and I don't know.
Didn't
if
he
that
do
was
stuff
right.
with Zach Bryan? I feel like that's like how I've heard him before.
Noah Kahan and Zach Bryan. I don't know about that.
I could be wrong on that though too.
Fucking Zach Bryan went off the deep end for a while. I think this summer he kind of became a loose goose.
Speaking of loose goose, should we get into our topic of the week?
Okay, yeah, we can hit a topic of the week.
So last week we said we're going to do on Mondays more of these like, not really debates I guess, but just what our favorites are. And last week we did fast food death row meal.
Yep.
This week we're going to do places to get drunk.
Yes.
I'm going to go, I think one of the best places to get drunk is an airport.
I agree entirely.
Especially like when you get a layover.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I got a layover. What am I going to do? I'm going to go pay $14 for a beer, $18 for a beer and a shot if you're at the Tampa
Beer and a shot,
airport.
yes. That was a good go-to. But how do you feel about continuing the drinking on the plane? Are you
I'm
doing
all
that
for
also?
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I only really ever got airport drunk with you.
Because usually if you're flying somewhere, you're going, I mean, I guess it could be work. There's a lot of people that fly for work. But other than that, you're like flying for a trip or a vacation or something. And it's like, if you show up drunk there, like, no big deal.
Honestly, and the trips that we fly to are like, we're going to New Orleans.
Yeah.
If we go to New York, we would fly. So it's like, we're probably going with the intention of
Having
having
a
a
good
little
time,
fun.
yeah.
So it started early. I do agree with airport. Airport drinking's fun. The Tampa airport was fun to drink.
I have another one, but I'll let you throw one out there.
My favorite kind of venue to drink at, I like just a hot day beach bar.
Okay.
I
yeah.
like a Caddy's. I like a O'Matty's.
Somewhere you can get like a frozen drink.
Yeah. I really
Maybe
got
your
on the
shirt's
Miami
off. Well, my
Vices.
shirt would be off.
My shirt might be off. You never know.
Yeah. But
I
you guys
like-
wear bras or bathing suits.
Yeah.
But you're in a bathing suit. That's what we're looking for here.
Yes. Yeah. Walking around, you're a little drippy wet. Your eyes are stinging a little bit because you just played mermaids in the water. You're coming back up to get a Miami Vice. No whipped cream.
No whipped cream
No
is
whipped cream is
crucial.
important. You can't get too heavy on the whipped
This sounds
creams.
really nice as I'm looking at this door to all the snow we got this weekend.
We did get, kid is currently digging in it and going crazy, but we got several inches of snow. is kind of sick. We went on a little walk around. He just drug it all inside. We went on a little walk around yesterday with Kid, and I was just belly flopping into the
Florida girl,
piles.
first time playing snow.
I haven't had snow that big before. I've had little snows, but I've never played in snow that I can remember. And I got out there, I was giddy as a squirrel.
A snow day is another good day to get drunk.
Snow day, we did that. We've done that the last 2 days.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, we didn't get drunk Friday. I guess we had a couple drinks.
We had a couple drinks, but I felt quite nice last night. We had a little dance party in our house. We were going through our vinyls, picking random vinyls. We have a little pile of them over at our record player right now.
Gotta clean that up.
Yeah. We were hula hooping, juggling.
Real meisters.
Yeah, it was fun. It was like our
Jesters.
own
Real
real
jesters.
meisters. It was like our own little circus. What's your second?
Weddings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Typically they're free, and the attention's never gonna be on you. It's gonna be on the bride and groom. So you can kind of just do your own thing, get a little hammered,
Also,
get in
the
a
weddings,
dance circle.
The weddings that we're going to, you've been in all of them. So driving isn't really.
Yeah.
They got like buses and shuttles and shit. So driving hasn't really been a problem.
It's
So
kind of acceptable to be pretty drunk at a wedding too.
yeah, no one's gonna like talk about it the next day. 'Cause
That's
it's
what it
just
really
horrible.
boils down to now that I'm thinking about it, is like an airport, you don't know anybody there.
Yeah.
So if you get a little drunk, who cares?
A beach bar, you're at the beach.
You're at the beach,
Everyone
everyone's
is
drunk. Wedding, that's what it is. So it's like, like a football game is another good place to get drunk.
Oh,
You don't know anybody there.
a football game is a great place to get
Yeah.
drunk. I let myself get loose the last couple games we went to in Tampa.
Those are some of my.
Let me think of one more.
You want to know some of the worst places to get drunk? A concert.
kindergarten.
Well,
A concert?
like a
'Cause you gotta get home.
like an arena concert. I feel like a show at Asheville Music Hall or One World. But like when you're like hammered at a concert, there's a bunch of people. You got to go to the bathroom a bunch, and there's a big line. And then if you got to get home somehow.
Offshoot second topic. Best kind of venue to see music then. Because I do hate arenas.
Best place to see outside.
Anything
Yeah,
outside.
like a festival really is like probably.
Anything at Swanee is gonna be good. The Orion was fantastic.
Yeah, like a mid-sized arena is. Like
St. Augustine.
Yeah, and those are like St. Augustine, the Orion. What's another one that's like kind of that size that's outdoors? Because the amphitheater is like too big,
Yeah.
and people tend to get really drunk at amphitheaters.
Yeah.
And I don't want. When I'm at a show, I don't want people to be so hammered around me they're like throwing up and shit.
Yeah.
And that seems to happen at an amphitheater.
I can agree with that.
Especially because, I think of like in the summer, there's like country concerts at amphitheaters, and people are just going to party.
Yeah.
Like they get there early to tailgate, and then it's just like, I remember we went to like Post Malone at Tampa,
Mm-hmm.
and people were like so loud just around us. It was like hard to even focus on the music.
That honestly, I was so excited for that concert, and we got in there at like a decent time, and there was nowhere to sit.
Nowhere.
We were
There's just
up
two of
against-
us too.
Just us two. Like we can squeeze in anywhere. We were up in the back, like by one of the small bars, and it
Mm-hmm.
was kind of a letdown. But sick concert. I love Post Malone. It was a bit of a disappointment though. I also felt that about Tyler Childers when we saw him there. Really, I just think
Amphitheaters,
Tampa is not
yeah.
the place to go.
That's
see
just all
music.
amphitheaters, though. I feel like
Yeah.
like Virginia Beach has, and they're all like laid out the same exact way.
And I always feel like they oversell lawn tickets. They
for
don't know
sure.
the capacity of a lawn.
They don't care either.
No,
I think it's
they
more
don't.
they don't care than
Sardine them in.
yeah.
What was the one?
Another good one though, venue. Sorry to interrupt you,
That's okay.
but is like where we saw in Mountain Grass Unit in Knoxville,
That bar?
like a bar that's packed.
I
I'm into that.
loved that. I loved that. That was one of my highlights of last year's
Mm-hmm.
shows. I think I said that at some point.
And like
In
another
our
one,
wrap-ups.
we were saying like the Orion in St. Augustine, the one we saw widespread at. That's like a medium-sized arena, outdoor amphitheater.
Mm-hmm. But even getting into that one when they were
Yeah.
fishtailing us all through the security lines and like, yo, go back around. You
Yeah.
gotta go back through the gate. That like, there's just such a tension into getting inside. Also,
Especially when people are drinking like that.
that man gave me the act of biochemical warfare by putting blood on my hands. So 2 strikes for that one, but seeing Widespread there was super fun.
Yeah.
Once you got into the actual venue, I agree that was a really sick spot to see music.
Yeah, that was a good one.
But everything that happened outside of the music was crazy.
Should we settle on one more good place to get drunk?
Go, okay.
So yours kind of encapsulates the beach, I would say.
I love getting
So
drunk
beach,
when it's
beach
warm.
bar, airport, sports game. What was the one? Wedding.
Your best friend's house.
Your best
When
friend's
it's
house.
just you and your best friend. And you're just drinking.
I would
It's
say
not like a rowdy get drunk.
the first night of a bachelor party, you haven't seen like your friends in a while. You guys are just at one place together and everyone's just drinking. That's always fun.
I've never been to a bachelorette party.
Well, the fellas,
Bachelor party.
the fellas understand.
Yeah. I don't have that many friends. So, new place, because I can't agree on that one because I haven't experienced it. I like getting drunk at my parents' house.
I don't think I've ever seen you drunk at your parents' house.
I used to get drunk.
We
there
get drunk
quite
at
a
my
bit.
parents' house.
We do get drunk at your parents' house, yes. Well, no, we get drunk at
Someone else's house
someone
with
else's
my
house
parents.
and
Yeah.
then go back to your mom's house, yeah. I used to, because my parents lived right by the beach, so I would go over to their house, get drunk at their house, and then just take, like, vitamin waters full of Malibu and just take it down to the beach.
Nice. Malibu. That was the first thing I drank when I was like 15 or 16, I feel like.
Yeah.
Malibu and blue Kool-Aid. It was delicious.
I would drink half the vitamin water and then fill it with Malibu.
That
So
was
I
probably
guess
pretty
kind
good.
of,
Vitamin
yeah.
water. I forgot about vitamin water.
My parents are weird on the vitamin water.
The triple X one was the best one.
What's that?
It's like acai berry or something.
I think I know the one. I do like any blue drink.
Yeah, same.
Blue,
Light blue Gatorade. Glacier Freeze.
I kind of like the white Gatorade.
But like cherry?
It is, and I usually don't like cherry.
Yeah, fake cherry is not
And
good.
I used to call it Seamanade, but because it looks like it. But it has kind of a nice flavor. Someone gave me a cherry Celsius like Alani the other day. On my unit, we do shots of energy drinks in the morning. Everyone
funny.
brings in a new flavor. And so this go around, it was cherry and it was fucking horrible.
Yeah, I stay away from the Celsius. I don't
It
like
was
those.
so medicinal. It was an Alani. That's what it was. But I do
I've
stay
never
away
heard
from
of that.
It's for the girlies. It's a girly drink.
Alrighty, guys. If you're still made it this far and you're new to the podcast because of Vince Herman, thanks for listening. Please shoot us a follow on whatever you listen to the podcast on, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, whatever. It really helps with the algorithm and helping people find the podcast. So appreciate you guys who do follow us. On Thursday, we have another banger of an episode. Jay Blakesberg, the photographer who's worked with the Grateful Dead, worked with all kinds of bands, but most notably for the Grateful Dead. And we did his interview exactly 35 years from the famous portrait he did of Jerry Garcia. So it's super sick interview. You guys are really going to like it. He sure knows how to run and tell a story, which is perfect for me.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that episode will be out Thursday. Go buy your All Jammed Up tickets. Have a great week. Be safe. And remember, wherever you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be.
Well, all jammed up, hey, that's where it's going down. Best damn pot in this old Asheville town. More than enough old stories to go around. And I'm all jammed up right now. Yes, I'm all jammed up right now.